everyone, welcome into this lesson. My name is Facilitator Vic. Our learning area is agriculture. Under the first strand, agriculture, conserving agricultural environment, and we shall be focusing on this substrand, soil pollution control. And it's very important to any human being and animals to conserve the agricultural environment. And this can be done by learning about soil pollution and how to control it when carrying out the agricultural farming activities or practices. And therefore, any learner who is undertaking this particular subject or this learning area should be able to understand or define what soil pollution is as the contamination of soil with harmful substances. And in your definition, you should be able to mention contamination of soil and with harmful substances, because that is what we refer to as soil pollution. And therefore, these harmful substances that contaminate the soil, they are also referred to as pollutants or contaminants. So again, every learner should be able to know what pollutants or contaminants are. And because we now talk of pollutants and contaminants, these are the harmful substances that causes soil pollution. How do they therefore cause, or what are these causes of soil pollution in farming? One of them is the excessive use of artificial fertilizers. We know we are encouraged to practice organic farming, but again, if we don't use these artificial fertilizers in the appropriate amount, or we make them excess in the farm, then they also introduce pollutants, because they are going to accumulate, they are going to get into the soil in excess. And these pollutants they introduce are the nitrogen compounds and metals. And these minerals, when they accumulate in the soil in excess, they become toxic, they raise the toxicity level of the soil. And therefore, that particular soil will be harmful to crops and even the soil living organism. And as we all understand, that the soil living organisms play a very vital role in breaking down the components in the soil for fertility levels. So we have to protect them by avoiding any pollutants or contaminants at all costs. Cause number two is excessive use of agricultural chemicals, what we refer to as the agrochemicals, such as the herbicides and the pesticides. The herbicides which are used to control weeds, the pesticides which are used to control pests. If these chemicals, the agrochemicals, are not used in correct amount, therefore they also accumulate. The large number of these chemicals make the soil become toxic to the soil living organism. Causes number three, in that case, is throwing plastic waste in the garden. Any farmer, any person practicing agricultural production must be very much cautious about the waste that are thrown everywhere in the surrounding. To even the community members, they may not be aware, and after using this plastic waste, the disposal is not proper. These wastes are very dangerous, they become harmful. They are pollutants, they are contaminants, because the wastes are not broken down, they are non-biodegradable. So the living organism cannot break them down to decompose. So these wastes, plastic wastes, are not broken down by soil living organisms, and therefore they contaminate the soil and interfere with the growing of crops or reduces agricultural space. When the containers are everywhere, we understand they don't decompose. Believe me or not, even the plants will not get anywhere to grow because they occupy that agricultural space. And again, throwing chemical containers. We may have bought some containers which have some chemicals, and after using them, we do not dispose them off well. And so when we just carelessly throw these containers which got chemicals, the chemicals themselves, the leftovers from these containers, they get into the soil and become pollutants. And once they become pollutants, they accumulate toxic levels and become harmful to the soil living organism. And another cause of soil pollution is the surface runoff, which carries contaminated water. The surface runoff comes as a result of excess rain, already heavy rain, and this surface runoff, when it meanders its ways all into the garden, it collects dirt, it collects all sorts of pollutants, and these pollutants that are carried in this surface runoff is contaminating, and therefore also making the soil unfit for production of any kind of crop and those crops which are those or that are crops that are developed from contaminated soil, they are never healthy. And because of that, we may get effects of which may result as a result of soil pollution. And the biggest effect of soil pollution here, it is causing production of crops that are not safe for consumption by human beings and animals, because we have understood that these excessive use of fertilizers, this excessive use of agrochemicals, they interfere with the soil organism, they interfere with the crops growing in that soil. The containers, the plastic containers and the chemical container leftovers. So if they are not controlled, if we don't manage the soil around, the pollution in the soil around, agricultural soil, therefore we may end up producing crops that are harmful for our consumption. So it is very important for us to practice prevention before we get into factors that may lead to soil pollution. And this prevention can be done by protecting the soil. So how do we control soil pollution? The soil should be protected from pollution to make agricultural produce safe. The farming community, the people around, they may not know that the practices they are carrying out on the farm pollute the soil. And these practices they are carrying out on the farm include the use of fertilizers, the use of chemicals, and any other farming practices without proper disposal of containers. They may not know, and so we can make these members of the community aware by creating messages to make them aware of soil pollution and how to prevent it. So how are we going to create messages to them? Therefore, the awareness messages on soil pollution is aimed at sensitizing members of the public on the harmful effects of soil pollutants in farming. So even the people in general, the society in general, we must sensitize them. We must tell them the do's and the don'ts so that we can all effectively join efforts to control soil pollution. And the awareness messages should target both different categories of people in the community: the young, the middle age, even the elderly, boys and the girls. All of them should be sensitized on the dangers of polluting the soil. And these awareness messages also should be designed to educate the public on a wider range of soil pollution control measures, such as the safe disposal of used agricultural chemical containers and plastic wastes. So the farming community, what do they do with these containers that they have bought and they have some chemicals? They must be disposed of safely. And another one, we should sensitize them on the use of correct types and amount of fertilizers and also agricultural chemicals. Yes, they are beneficial because they help control other factors in the farm. But now, do we use the correct amount? That is the question. So we should be made aware of how to use these agrochemicals and fertilizers in their correct amount to avoid soil pollution. Another is reusing plastic materials such as plastic bottles for drip irrigations. If you have a garden where the plastic bottles are scattered everywhere in large amounts, you can collect those plastic bottles and use them as you practice drip irrigation with them, because that is going to be helpful. Because we understand that these bottles are not decomposing. So can we make them into another useful thing? Again, is recycling waste materials into other useful products. And any learner should be very keen with reusing and recycling. You should be in a position to differentiate them clearly without getting mixed up. Reusing, we've seen, is using that item that we use to do another function or to serve another purpose. But recycling is refining that material that has already been used to come up with a new product. For example, you may collect the bottles and refine them to make a flower vase, or refine them to make the shopping bags. Right now we become recycling and not reusing. So get to understand the difference between reusing and recycling, because these are what we intend to sensitize the members of the public. These are what we intend to create awareness so that in collection we help control soil pollution. Then another way we can also put awareness is by planting trees and cover crops to reduce surface runoff and even soil erosion. So the surface runoff can only be managed by planting cover crops and also planting of trees. And therefore, we've been talking about sensitizing the community. We've been talking about how to create awareness to the the farming community. This awareness can be done through either dramatization. You can involve yourself as a learner, come up with a skit, play that talks about soil pollution, dramatize it well, play to the public. They will enjoy and they will get some educative values out of that kind of dramatization. We can also compose songs and present them over the radios and everywhere in the gathering so that people can listen to these songs as they educate them on the dangers of polluting the soil. We can also recite poems, which may also have information on how to control soil pollutions. And also we can also display posters. We can come with posters that we may mount everywhere in the community. And these posters can contain useful information to the members of the public, to the members of the society, sensitizing them, educating them on the importance of controlling soil pollution. Like for example, here in these pictures, you can see these boys have made some posters. They are very beautiful, colored beautifully, and they have information in them. If I may read a few of them, one says a clean environment by collecting plastic waste in your home. Another one says soil pollution is harmful to your health. So these are examples of posters that one can use to control how to pass information on how to control soil pollution. As we proceed, we shall be now looking at some of the questions on the same substrate that we have just covered, that is soil pollution. I may be fast, but now I want to engage you, my listeners and viewers, on this question on the substrate soil pollution. There are only about 4 questions that we shall look at, but I will not go through the answers, and because I want to engage you, you may reach me out by making some comments on what you need to be clarified, or also you can make your comments on the same questions by giving divergent answers as opposed to what I already have. So question number 1, are you able to give 3 farming practices that cause soil pollution in farming? Are you able to give 3 farming practices that cause pollution in farming? And question 2, are you able to describe the safe farming practices that prevent soil pollution? Are you able to describe the safe farming practices that prevent soil pollution? Question 3 says, how can we make the members of the community aware of the soil pollution control measures? Question 3, how can we make members of the community aware of the soil pollution control measures? Question 4, and our last question for this substrate, what is the importance of controlling soil pollution in farming? What is the importance of controlling soil pollution in farming? So, my learners and viewers, if you have found this lesson very interactive to you, can you engage yourself, try working out these questions, and then go through the answers. And if you have any other divergent opinion, any other question, do not hesitate to make your comment, because we shall be interacting more in other subsequent lessons. And for now, I'd like to end there. I want to thank you all for your attendance. Goodbye.